What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, I want to give a quick shout out to Coin Bureau, one of the top YouTube channels, and probably my favorite YouTube channel overall for crypto content. Obviously, you don't need to follow crypto content to play Splinterlands, but it does exist in the kind of crypto ecosystem, so being aware of what is happening is good to know. And so I want to share these important dates that they shared on a recent video, and kind of overlay that within the context of Splinterlands and what we can expect over the next couple of weeks in the month of March. So let's take a quick look here. They called out the 10th. So the first date coming up is the 10th. That is going to be the day that the jobs data for the U.S. comes out. That should be big for kind of determining where we can expect the Fed's actions to go. But more importantly is when Mt. Gox creditors are going to get their Bitcoin back. So for people not aware, Mt. Gox was one of the first major exchanges for Bitcoin. And ultimately, I don't know if it was an inside job. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. But basically, it went down and people had their funds locked up there for years. I mean, a decade at this point, right? This was 2013. So if they're going to finally get their Bitcoin back, keep in mind that Bitcoin back in 2013 was like between 200 and topped out at like $1,000. So they've made, people there have made a pretty penny on that. If they're going to get their Bitcoin back, it could lead to some significant sell pressure if those people are looking to exit out of their positions. So that is the first day coming up. Next week, we have CPI and PPI data. I forgot what order it is, but on the 14th and 15th. So that is going to be, a good indication of where inflation is at. I believe last month we came in higher than expected. So if it continues to go up or continues to not meet the lowering expectations, that could be a big issue. And then for the week after that, on the 22nd, we have the Fed meeting where they will decide whether or not to raise. Well, actually, I think they're going to raise interest rates regardless, but how much to raise them by. So we have those 4 dates, and if you caught any of the tone within all of them, there is a significant chance for major market activity, potentially to the downside if a lot of trends that we're seeing continue to move in the wrong direction. Obviously, if the news is good, it's one of those things where if the news is good, it's almost like things stay status quo. And maybe the market moves up, but more, I think what I'm trying to Papa Bear here. What I'm trying to just point out is that there are potential catalysts that could be risks to the downside overall. So just wanted to call those out. Now, within the context of Splinterlands, we do have, on the 10th, this isn't Splinterlands necessarily, but we do have the GLS Town Hall on the 10th, so just keep that in mind for those of you playing both games. But with the amount of packs that we have remaining, which is under 185,000, we technically are going to burn out on the last pack on the 15th, but I think we're going to sell more than 10,000 packs and move that up to the 14th. There's a potential chance we even sell more than 10,000 packs and move it up a couple of days before that. Obviously, every 25,000 we sell is going to be 25,000 less that we burn. So where am I going with this? Well, if we don't sell out or burn out, if the FOMO doesn't kick in over the next 3 days by the 10th and we get bad jobs data, we get a lot of Bitcoin selling, that could actually lead to DEC being lower, right? Right now it's about 750 Splintoshis, but if the entire market kind of moves down, it could make packs, for people coming in to buy with fiat, to buy fiat, not packs directly, but buy fiat and or stable coins and buy DEC, it could make it more appealing because packs technically will be at a lower price instead of the 750 Splintoshis for DEC right now. It could be significantly lower. Again, even a 5% move to the downside could mean more packs for somebody to get if they're coming in and buying with fiat or stable coins. So that's something to keep an eye out over, like literally the next 5 to 6 days, or I mean even 3 to 4 days, if we don't get major movement. Following that, the team mentioned this in the town hall yesterday, but they're going to have their kind of like quarterly planning on the 15th and 16th. So I'm expecting a bit of a quieter move or a quieter week next week in terms of releases overall. And then following that, we should get land. I mean, they're saying that we're going to get land before the end of the quarter. So I would expect anytime on the 21st or 28th. So here's where the upside could potentially come. And what I'm going to throw in for this as well is the land white paper, okay? Because also what we may expect by the end of the week or sometime next week is the land 1.5 white paper. Now, that could be a very positive catalyst. That could be a very sobering catalyst. We don't really know the direction it's going to go, but a lot of people in Discord have been saying that they are waiting for that to make purchase decisions. So as we look over the next couple of weeks here, if we get it this week, and people start to buy up going into the chaos FOMO, it could make next week, regardless of what's happening in the broader markets, way more exciting. Again, we talked about DEC being impacted, obviously SPS, and for those playing or those in the GLS ecosystem, we could see those coming down as well. So again, we don't really know how it's going to play out, obviously. But over the next couple of weeks, if we get this land white paper and then the land actually surveyed or released, one thing that could be very positive, especially if we see any kind of market dip or downturn, is people coming in heavy into DEC first for packs, right? For next week to play into this, and then afterwards for land. Because if we're going to get the land white paper out over the next week or two and then lead into actual surveying, people may want to jump into this as quickly as possible. And I know that the team has said, especially in the last town hall, that they want to get utility for land out right away. So I don't think that's going to be something that we have to wait until June or the end of Q2 for. I think they're going to try and implement that sooner rather than later. But again, that's all speculation. And obviously we'll see more once we get the land 1.5 white paper. But again, I would expect that. I would expect more Chaos Pack FOMO by the end of the week, and then probably some land FOMO in the weeks following those. In the weeks following, so the 12th and the 19th, or weeks of the 12th and the 19th, which again could kind of overlay with some interesting macro market that could bring us down. And then obviously create opportunities for people wanting to buy maybe DECB, maybe wanting to buy vouchers, buying SPS. So keep in mind, we're in a weird place here, but I do think March could be a very interesting month. And when I say interesting, I very much mean we have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm going to have my popcorn ready and potentially be ready to take advantage of some opportunities when they dip, or just ride the wave if we go up. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. Hopefully it was informative. If you want more like crypto, macro related content, definitely let me know. But obviously I follow this stuff regularly, and I always try to overlay it with my decisions and what I'm planning to do within Splinterlands. So at the very least, I hope it was educational or helpful. That is all I have for you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.